Good morning, Pioneers. Welcome to The Grit. My name is Connor Morrison.
My name is Justice Cullivan. Let's start with a recap on this week's sports. On Monday, our field hockey tried their hardest but came up short on a tough loss to Kilbourne, 0-1. They also suffered a tough defeat to Thomas Worthington, 0-9. Next week, they face Upper Arlington and Granville away. Good luck, girls.
On Tuesday, girls volleyball swept Liberty, taking all 3 sets. They have now beat all 3 Olentangy high schools and sit 5-0 at the top of the conference. They face Kaufman away and Upper Arlington at home next week, with both games being conference games.
Now we throw it over to Andrew for a live coach interview with Coach Schroeder.
Thanks for coming onto our show, Coach. What is your mentality heading into this game against Upper Kaufman?
Well, we're super excited. You know, like our conference is one of the top conferences of Division I football in the state, and each opportunity we have to go compete and play at home, it's just fun. So like the urgency in practice has been there, and it's a really good team. But I think we're playing starting to play really good football right now. So we're excited.
The Pioneers are on a 2-game win streak. What have you guys changed to make this happen?
Well, I think it starts. I think with the biggest thing is just our toughness. On both sides of the line of scrimmage, I think we've been playing a lower pad level, really getting off into the opponent. And then unforced errors. In our first few games, we had a lot of unforced errors, and we're starting to win the turnover battle. In a typical game, you may only get 7 or 8 possessions, and if you throw one of those possessions away or 2 of those possessions away with penalties, or you line up wrong, or you have a missed assignment, you don't get the ball back for another 7 or 8 minutes. So I think that's the biggest thing we've done the last couple weeks is we've eliminated our penalties, eliminated unforced errors.
What is a strength that you guys have relied on the team for this past 2 runs?
I think the strength of our team is really just that everybody has a role. We don't have one strength. We have multiple that can show up depending on who the opponent, depending on we believe in playing compatible football. So 1 week the offense might have to help the defense. 1 week the defense is helping the offense. Special teams comes through. So I think that's one of the strengths of our team is on any given Friday, one of those units can show up to be the deciding factor.
Well, that's it. Thank you.
All right, thanks for having me, guys.
Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Andrew. Now for our new weekly segment, our weekly football pick'ems. Starting with high school football and our district rivals, our first game is Olentangy versus Thomas Worthington.
And coming into this game, both teams are 5-1. The star players for each team: Jackson Wiley for Olentangy, he's a junior wide receiver, and then on the Thomas Worthington side, Isaiah Bowers, who is a senior running back. So who do you got coming to win this game?
I think this game is going to be pretty close. 2 really good teams. I think that Olentangy is probably going to pull out a win here. I think they've got a really good offense, especially with Jackson Wiley at wide receiver. I think they'll be able to pull out the win.
I believe that they will also win. They have the home court advantage, obviously, and it's tough to play away, especially for a team like Thomas Worthington. So yeah, I got them as well. And then the next game is Berlin, who will be heading to Hilliard Darby, who we played earlier this year, and unfortunately that's 28-21. It's a close game. Who do you got on this one?
Well, I think Darby is a really good team. Obviously, they run a bit more of the old school football style, but I think that it works to their favor. They've got great players like their QB with Sage Keene, who can run the ball very well. Doesn't throw too often, but throws when he needs to and makes good throws. I think this game's really a toss-up, but I think I'm going to have to go with Berlin here.
I'm actually going to go with Darby in this game. We saw what they can do. They came to Orange and were able to pull out a win. That triple option is it's very rare, and it's very hard offense to defend against. I got Darby in that one. Then the third game is Upper Arlington will be traveling to Liberty High School, another one of our rival schools. Who do you think is going to win this one?
Well, Liberty doesn't have the greatest record. They're 1-5 right now, but they do have some pretty good players on their team. Jake Struck, he is a junior. He leads their team in receiving and rushing yards. So I think that although he is a star player on that team, a standout player on offense, I think that Upper Arlington, they're just a much better, well-rounded team on offense and defense. They'll probably get the win tonight.
I agree. I just think that Liberty 1-5. They have a really good. They're probably the best player on the field, but football's obviously a team sport. So I got Liberty is going to lose this one to UA. And then the final game is Orange Pioneers versus Kaufman. This is an easy pick. Intention
Absolutely.
Orange is going to wipe the floor with Kaufman. We know this
Absolutely.
going in this game. We don't even really talk about it. It's just going to be a destruction.
Yeah, not much to talk about with the game tonight. I think the Pioneers will definitely be able to pull out a win here, no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, it's going to be a very fun game to watch for sure.
Now taking a look at some upcoming NFL games. First game, we've got the Browns versus the Ravens. This is a big game in the Browns and Ravens division. They're division rivals, obviously. I know we have a lot of Browns and Ravens fans at the school. I'm personally a Browns fan. I know you're a Ravens fan, so that might cause a little bit of bias in our picks, but I think the Browns are going to be able to pull out a win here.
Looking at the Browns defense, honestly, I have to pick them. I'm a Ravens fan, but the Browns defense have only let up 6 points at home in the 2 games that they've had, which is insane. So I think that, and the Ravens have struggled on offense this year, so I think we're going to see a pretty low-scoring game. And yeah, so I believe that the Browns will be able to pick up a win here.
Yeah, I think the Browns defense might be the best in the league right now, at least when they're playing at home. I know when we played against Pittsburgh and at Pittsburgh, our defense wasn't the greatest, but I think hoping the Browns can pull out the win.
All right, and then the second game, Bills versus Dolphins, 2 high-powered offenses, 2 great quarterbacks between Tua Tagovailoa and Josh Allen. Who do you think is going to pull out the win in this one?
Well, obviously, Dolphins just had a historic game, putting up 70 points against the Broncos. I think one of the things that the Dolphins have, in the past couple of games they've played, they haven't really played a really strong defense like the Bills have. I think with both teams having a high-powered offense, but I think the Bills having just a better defense overall, I'm going to take the Bills in that matchup.
I'm going to take the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill just is unguardable, fastest player in the NFL. We saw Raheem Mostert, the running back, and Arcane, the young running back for the Dolphins, just both dominate passing and receiving the football and rushing the football. I just think that offense is just too high-powered for even a Bills defense. But I think it will be a close game. I think
Absolutely.
that it's going to be a high-scoring game, too, and it'll be really fun to watch.
Absolutely. That's all for our weekly pick'ems. Now back to Orange football and the Pioneer Pit.
The Pioneer Pit has just introduced a new reward, the Pit Pride Award. Winners will be posted on the Pit's Instagram on the following Sunday.
Good morning, Pioneers. Let's take a look into this year's Buckeye season.
I don't think they'll win all their games. They're going to lose to Michigan. We're not looking the best this year. My favorite player is Marvin Harrison Jr., the best player in college football.
Yeah, they're a good team this year. No, I haven't gone to any yet, but I want to go to some. It was a good matchup and a fun game to watch at the end.
Yeah, I watched the game and it was crazy. I started yelling when they scored. Yeah, I have season tickets, so I go to the games.
That's all I have for you today, Pioneers. Now back to the desk.
I can't see. Orange travels to Hilliard-Davidson tonight. Davis's last game against Berlin lost 20-14. Tailgate starts at 5:30 in front of the school. Remember to show up and wear space attire and have out-of-this-world energy.
That's all we have today for Pioneers. I'm Justice Colvin. As always, make sure to support your Nears in action this week.
And I'm Connor Morrison. Thanks for tuning in to The Grit and Roll Nears.